Hey tribe, today we're going to get into my pre-hikers bucket list. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Lisa and I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail March 2025 going northbound. As you can see, I have some things written down. I did not memorize them. So if you see me looking down, yes, I am reading off of the paper. I wanted to create a bucket list because actually I've created this like midway through me preparing for the Appalachian Trail, and it was just something fun for me to do, kind of go through the states and look and see what it was that I really wanted to see, some of the highlights, some of the peaks on the trail. And so it kind of morphed into something more. I just want to say I'm super excited for my upcoming Appalachian Trail through hike. And at this point, because I'm really close, I am a bit nervous about just a myriad of things. It's not just one thing. I think it's just the bigness of and the hugeness of this, this trek and this journey. So grateful for you all following along on the journey and being a part of this. I have my bucket list essentials, adventures, and experiences. So one of my, experiences and adventures that I'm really looking forward to is obviously meeting other thru hikers, getting my family, getting a trail name. And another thing that I realized on one of my last hikes is I enjoy listening to the birds and I enjoy identifying the birds. Although I'm not into that, that's something that on the trail I'm looking forward to. And as well as different mushrooms and species and fruits and food and foraging. So I won't be foraging on the trail. I do not have enough, in my opinion, I don't have enough expertise to forage, but I am going to be looking and talking to other thru hikers to see what's actually out there on the trail. And hopefully that's something I will be able to bring to you. Adventures list is keeping the excitement and the joy that is felt at the beginning of a thru hike. So initially, whatever we do in life, we are, when we get started, it's an exciting journey. And as time goes on, sometimes we lose that excitement and it becomes a little lackluster. So my goal on this journey along the way, even when we get to the Virginia Blues, is to be excited, to be joyful as if I had just started, staying in the moment, not focusing too much on tomorrow and not looking back and regretting and thinking, oh, I should have done this or should have done that. Next, I'm going to go into my bucket list essentials for hiking and camping challenges. So I have dealing with shifts in the weather, stealth camping, conquering challenging hikes in different terrain, and listening to my body. So oftentimes we will push past what we know is uncomfortable. And so, yes, I know it's going to be some pain and I'm going to have to push past, but listening to my body is going to be really important for me on my journey on the Appalachian Trail. So next I have skills and gear prep. So some of the things that I'd like to do is mastering essential thru hiking skills, which are navigation. That is not my strong point. So I'm looking to get a lot better at my navigation skills, my compass skills. I have done some things here to kind of prep for that. So I'm looking forward to that. First aid, I'm pretty good with that because I am a nurse, but I'm always looking to up my game. Gear maintenance and hanging my bear bag, becoming a pro at putting my tent up, right? You guys, if you've been watching, I've had some huge challenges and I am overcoming them as well with my tent, taking down my tent and packing my pack with ease. Water management, foot care, stretching, muscle massaging. So those things are really crucial to how you feel in the morning. And if you're going to cramp up, oftentimes we go right to bed. So I'm gonna do my best to stretch and do massages and do my legs up on the wall to bring that blood back down to the heart. Another thing is developing resilience to handle long days, fatigue, moments of doubt, and unexpected challenges. That sums up my bucket list essentials. Oh, I'm sorry. No. So another thing is building endurance, engaging in rigorous physical training, practicing my mindfulness techniques, and talking to family about logistics and trail life, what to expect, and keeping in touch with me on the trail, reading books and that are related to the trail. As I move on, as the days near, I've been intentional about spending time with my family and friends, doing fun activities like skating, hanging out Friday nights, dancing, and just keeping it light. Keeping it light before I get out there and not, in my head a lot about what's to come. This is the really fun part of my bucket list, and this is my bucket list delights. So what I did was I just went through each state and a lot of them are familiar and kind of the mainstays for what people are looking forward to seeing on the trail. So let's start with Georgia. In Georgia, I'm looking forward to hiking the approach trail. I know it's not a part of the 18 miles, but I am looking forward to the waterfalls at Amalacola Falls. Tree full of hanging shoes. So for people who've watched Appalachian Trail videos, you know that I think it's at Neal's Gap, I'm not sure, maybe it's before, but all the shoes are the people who decided they, didn't want to hike. And I'm not sure if that's the case, or it's just that the shoes that they have, they're trading them in for something better. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to Blood Mountain. Next, I put together North Carolina and Tennessee because they kind of run together. I'm looking forward to Clingman's Dome, which is the highest point on the AT at 6,643 feet. Woo! Great Smoky National Park. I'm looking forward to the old growth, all of the old growth that's there, which is nothing but trees and things that people haven't touched and hasn't been, torn down, and has been there for centuries. I'm looking forward to Max Patch, and I'm looking forward to Trail of Tears, which is a mile-high surging bridge. On the mile-high surging bridge, I'm not familiar, but I saw it and said, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Then we move on to Virginia, which is the longest portion of the trail. I'm looking forward to McAfee Knob, which is one of the most photographed spots on the Appalachian Trail. Tinker Cliffs with its beautiful limestone ledge. Grayson Highlands with the wild ponies. I'm definitely looking forward to that. A little nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. The Knob Buzzard Rock, I'm looking forward to, and James River. So that's Virginia. And we move on to West Virginia, which can be covered in a day. I'm looking forward to Harper's Ferry, and I'm sorry, I had to look back, which is considered the halfway hub, not the halfway point, but the halfway hub of the Appalachian Trail. I'm looking forward to the Midnight Rising by the abolitionist John Brown. And the AT Conservancy headquarters is also in West Virginia, and Black Rock. So those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to, Black Rock. And here we go, we're in Maryland, my home state, and I'm looking forward to coming home, right? That's going to be monumental moments for me to be able to trek to Maryland, back to where I stay at. So that's the first thing I'm looking forward to, is coming back home. Tumble Creek and Annapolis Rocks, which I've already hiked on. If you didn't see my video when I was in the snow, that's where I was, and that crosses over the Appalachian Trail. So we move into Pennsylvania, and I'm looking forward to, and I've heard a lot about the Doyle Hotel that was built in the 1700s, and I believe it was knocked down and then rebuilt in the 1900s. This is the Rocksylvania. I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to that, but that is a part of Pennsylvania. And Chicken of the Woods, which is the edible mushrooms there. And Pennsylvania is the halfway point. So whoop, whoop, definitely looking forward to that. Then we move on to Jersey, and I'm looking forward to the Bald Eagles, Sunfish Pond, and the Boardwalk. Then we move on to New York. I have partially lived a lot of my life in New York as well, New York City. I'm looking forward to one of the biggest trees on the entire trail, the Hudson River, and it is close to New York City. I don't plan on visiting. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time in New York City, and Bear Mountain State Park and the Hudson Highlands. So that's a little bit about New York. As we move on to Connecticut, I'm looking forward to the historic River Valley, the old colonial farms, Great Falls, which is near town of Canaan, and Litchfield Hills. Massachusetts, I'm looking for I'm interested in seeing and being a part of Mount Greylock, which is at 3,495 feet, and it offers panoramic views, so I'm excited about that. And they say also you can see glimpses of New York and the Teutonic Mountains. So that's Massachusetts. And Upper Goose Pond, which they have shelters, and I think they're more like cabins. So that's also something I'm looking forward to. When we move on to Vermont, I'm looking forward to the Green Mountains, the open ball summits, the ridge lines, rolling hills, farmlands, and Mount Killington. New Hampshire, here we go, which I've heard is the hardest state to conquer. Looking forward to the Presidential Range and Franconian Ridge. And lastly, when we get to Maine, I'm obviously looking forward to summiting Mount Katahdin and the Mahoosuc Notch, which they say is the toughest mile. And they also say that Henry David Thoreau climbed it in the 1800s. So that was my bucket list for pre-hike bucket list for the Appalachian Trail. I hope you enjoyed Love and Hike.